something else, I tell you. You cannot replicate this experience anywhere else. Like, they're huge! Basically encircled by balloons. Like, again, you get to be in the thick of it. You get to just be a part of it. So for balloon ride, the best way is to pre-book online on the Balloon Fiesta website. It is like $600 US for a ride. I didn't see how long it was, but just know it is $600. There is a standby tent where you can go in if like all the balloon baskets are not full, that you can go put your name on a standby list. But you know, to guarantee a ride, just book online. I will not be getting a ride today because yeah, it's just not on the budget of this trip, but I hope one day. So the lines that connect from the balloon to the man that's standing right there, they've asked that you don't walk under them because it's unsafe. But other than that, like, you can walk right up to the balloon.
How long have you been ballooning?
I'm sorry?
How long have you been ballooning?
I started in January of this year.
Oh wow!
Yep.
So you just got a job and then you just learned from there, or did you take a course?
Actually, this is completely volunteer.
Oh, really?
Yep, I am not paid for this. This is totally out of, I want to do this because it's fun.
Yeah, no, I don't blame you at all. Being able to say that you could, like, yeah, could you fly a balloon by yourself?
So I'm not a pilot.
No, yeah, that takes something else.
Crew.
Still, well, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Because it's heavy. See all this fabric? This is called catenary wool. This fabric is what keeps the balloon in the shape of a tennis shoe rather than a balloon, rather than a circle. All of that fabric, however, has weight, which causes us to have less lift.
What's the maintenance like?
The maintenance, so every year it has to be annual. The fabric has to be tested, or 100 hours. The fabric has to be tested, the burners have to be checked, the wicker in the baskets all have to be checked. So once a year we call it our annual. It's just like airplanes go through.
Yeah. Okay, got it. And like, how much fuel do you go through?
In this balloon, if we were to fly it, we go through the fuel that's in our basket. So we would probably go through about 20 gallons during a flight. It'll take us about 5 to 7 gallons to inflate it.
Oh my gosh.
Takes a lot of fuel to inflate.
Wow. How much does it cost?
So a new shape would be about 80,000, 90,000. You can buy them used from people that are getting out of the business.
Got you.
It's crazy sauce. So many crazy and different fun balloons here. Like, it's not just like your traditional like balloon shape. There's also like, you know, like apart from Darth Vader and Yoda, there was like Humpty Dumpty, there was a sloth, there was a cow, there was some penguins, there's like a koala here, a cheetah, there was a parrot, and there was there's even so much more that hasn't taken off and is just sitting here on the ground. There's even a UFO that crashed over in the corner there, and people will come up with the craziest stuff.
It's generally been pretty good? No, not today.
No, the field is now closed. Nobody else can take off.
Oh, I see.
There's competition going to happen here now.
Very shortly here, they're going to be playing some games where the balloons have to come in and like drop a bag on a target, and of course whoever gets closest to the target wins. Anyway, that's what I overheard on the speaker. It's going to take place right here. So while they have activities here on the ground for you to do, they also have activities that they have with the balloons. So it's not just them taking off and coming down. There's like more to it. So it makes it fun for like the balloon goers and the spectators. I'm gonna think about starting to get out of here because there are a lot of people, and I mean, like, I don't even want to know what the traffic's gonna look like trying to get out of here. So let us move because I'm also getting hungry, and my sound wasn't working earlier, but it was $7 for a drip coffee. You can only imagine how much a meal would cost here. So I think we'll do a little bit of a walking around, seeing what kind of shops and other things that they have here, and then we'll get going before the hordes leave.
Scoring the maximum double drop, scoring on the X, and scoring on the bullseye as well. The only thing he didn't.
So it was just the stand that I went to this morning that was expensive. There's other places around here with $4 coffees instead of $7 coffees, because that was drip coffee. That was insane. So I see that they have breakfast burritos here, and I'm kind of starving, so I'm gonna get one now.
Hole out there.
We're good. Well, guys, I'm obviously back at the car. That was phenomenal. That was absolutely phenomenal. Like, eventually it sort of like loses its luster as all the balloons go off, but like at the beginning there, when in the morning time, when you get to like stand there and you get to like feel the roar of the fire and just like hear it, and then they're like right in front of you, you know, like they're right in front of you, and you can touch them and they lift off. There's something very fascinating about it. As simple as they are, like there's something so spectacular about it, and oh, I will have you know, this is not the end of the balloon journey. For me, it's gonna be like 8 hours. For you, it's gonna be like 2 seconds.
You. I'm Terry.
How's it, Tatiana?
Hi. And Tatiana?
Or tats, tatty, tat, anything but tits is what I tell people.
Start talking. So hey guys, and welcome back. It is like, what, 4:30 in the morning here, and so I just drove from TRC back to Albuquerque because these lovely people right here, Jason and Debbie, reached out to me on Instagram, and they watched my channel. They've been to TRC, we started to bond, and they're like, hey, guess what? We have a VIP ticket to the Balloon Fiesta. Do you want to come? And like, you know, the normal person I am, I said yes! So of course I got in the car at 10:30 last night, and I drove to their house, and I slept out of their house, and we woke up at 3:45, and now we're here. We're experiencing the Albuquerque Balloon Fiesta in the VIP level. So I'm going to bring you guys along with me. Big thanks to Debbie and Jason here. But first of all, we are here in the VIP tent where they have donuts and coffee and hot cocoa and hot water. So yeah, we're just waiting for the drone show, which is first up at 5:45. But in the meantime, we're gonna enjoy this heater because it's unusually cold for the Balloon Fiesta. I also have you know it's the last day today, so we're hoping for a really, really good show. Now, we were lucky with the VIP pass that we got to go right to like a separate building with concierge parking, and then we got a ride in with a golf cart, so we didn't have to worry about paying for parking or anything because that was all included in the VIP ticket. But if you're coming like by a car, be prepared to pay $20 for parking, and it's cash only. But if you can find other ways in, I would do that. There is a park and ride option that they have, so you can park and then they'll bus you in, but it's only on the weekends. Just to consider that as well. Drone show starting, everybody! This was my very first drone show that I have ever seen, and my camera does absolutely no justice to how incredible it actually is watching these drones move in unison. While this drone show was happening, I learned something very important, which is probably the key element to why the Balloon Fiesta is in Albuquerque. In Albuquerque, there's a fantastic phenomenon we refer to as the box.
Now please understand, I'm going to do my best to explain this, so I'm sorry if I butcher it. In simple terms, the box is circular winds that happen specifically right in Albuquerque. So when the balloons go up and they go out, and then eventually the winds bring them back to where they came. They did do a visual with the drones, but a vehicle drove right in front of my camera as I was filming. Essentially, that's what makes Albuquerque such a special place to go ballooning.
So on the back side that we can kind of hang out and listen to the pilot briefing. Oh, cool. Because that'll be like the next thing that happens. And then we can come back and just kind of find a spot wherever.
With that, what we have is a pretty typical box, but it might be a bit taller of a box than what we typically see.
So this is where like all the crew come to find out like the weather forecast and the updates of like what's happening and if we're gonna fly or not fly, and keeping everyone updated of like, you know, winds, weather patterns, etc., etc. It's very in-depth and detailed. It's really interesting to listen to. Highly recommend it if you're here. Come take a look, get in the thick of it. I am now warm because all my limbs are numb.
Today is gonna be a little something more. I've got a plan in mind, a special thing in store.
All the dirty looks. It's surprising how many dirty looks we get from the golf cart. Also, everybody, David from the Junkology shop gave me this hat to wear specifically for today. So, shout out to Dave. So on the announcements right now, they're talking about how bring extra SD cards and battery packs. They're not wrong. I'm about to go on to my third and final battery, and I did bring an extra charger. So, you know, and it's only 7 a.m. and we still have at least 3 more hours here. So bring extra batteries, bring extra SD cards, because you'll be thankful. Basically, the moment the green flag went up, all the balloons are starting to inflate. So we're going into the middle of the field to go and check them out because you can. The masses are moving. I can't describe how big these things are. Like, it just doesn't do justice unless you're standing here looking up at it. And it's just like a city of balloons, and you cannot replicate this experience anywhere else. It can only be here, like on this field. It's crazy. Seriously, it's an undescribable experience. And then there's this. I think Deb said it correctly. It's like waking giants. So all credit to Debbie for that one. It's an accurate description. It's waking giants. Second one up. It's so exciting every time. A lot of stuff is happening right now. We have, and the camera just can't capture it all. Like, we have a balloon literally right here blowing up, and we have like 2 or 3 other balloons flying by and over top of us, and it's overwhelming in like the best kind of way, because it's just like it's truly like these beautiful, gorgeous, colorful giants just like floating up and away into the sky. And come on a day, or at least try to get here on a day where there's sun and blue sky, because it's a game changer. The first day I came, it was overcast and they just were like little shadows in the sky, but the sun just makes the colors pop, and they're so beautiful. Like here comes another one, you know, like we're blowing this one up and this one's coming right here. Like it's just right here. The wind is really pushing them together. It gets like really close, really far. So we're done watching those ones. take off, so we're gonna go over and watch the cow balloon fill up. Now, believe it or not, the cow balloon, her name is Arabelle, and she's the most difficult balloon to fly that they have here on the grounds, probably in the world, just because there's so many, like, I guess, what do you say, limbs, that when she's up in the air, you know, the wind blows it all in different ways. So like it's really, really hard. It has to be perfect conditions in order for the cow to go up. And the cow only went up once so far in these 9 days, but she does blow up and she hangs out and you can take photos, and it's definitely something spectacular. So definitely a pro of having VIP is this golf cart. I can not only can stand it and see above people, but it's just sort of nice having like a designated space, even though you get a lot of dirty looks for being on the golf cart, which is funny, I guess you could say. But yeah, that's another thing that I've seen is people having stools, and it's a game changer to be able to just be like just that much higher above the crowd to see everything. So I would bring a little step stool if you come as like a little tidbit.
Especially with an air horn.
How no one gets hurt is like utterly incredible. I just don't know how there's more injuries, but like let's not pray for more injuries, but it's just kind of crazy with the amount of people and the amount of like moving bits that's happening. It's really surprising, and it's just really surprising, and I hope no one does get hurt, because I know if someone does, that's going to change things drastically. I guess I haven't mentioned before, so what happens is the balloons go up and they don't always, necessarily land back here. They go up and they go up and they go out, and then they land wherever they can land, and so that's why these vehicles need to get out once their balloon has gone, because they have to basically, they're called chase vehicles, they have to go and chase the balloons. Like yesterday, I was driving on the highway and one was stuck in a tree. So like they end up in the most randomest of places. It could even be your backyard type deal. So that's why they're trying to like hurry and get out, but it's really hard with these giant crowds.
Oh no!
Oh my goodness! For scale, everybody, it's big, okay? The cow balloon just went down just now. I looked at my phone. It was like crowded. We couldn't move. So many people. I just kind of looked at my phone and put it down, and all of a sudden there's like, less crowd. It's just incredible how people move.
We did a small drive around the field checking out any of the balloons that didn't go up that day. It was such a fantastic day and a perfect way to end my journey in Albuquerque. Thank you so much to Jason and Debbie for inviting me on this trip. I could not be more thankful, and guys, go give him a like and follow on Instagram. He takes phenomenal photos. I'm so happy I was able to cross the Albuquerque Balloon Fiesta off my bucket list. Here's to crossing off more. Until next time.
The screwdriver people.